If you had one huge secret, who would you tell? Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your boyfriend or girlfriend, or husband or wife? What if that secret was something you weren't really quite sure about? Or something you couldn't really admit to yourself, let alone any of these people? It's not the easiest question to answer. When I found myself in this unclear situation, I turned to the one place as a millennial I knew had all the answers: the internet. Growing up, I felt just like any other kid. I played sports, I went to school, and life was great. But as I got older, into middle school and high school, things started to feel a bit different. It was at that point in time where all of my friends became boy crazy, right before my eyes. Believe me, I tried way too hard to play along, but it was terrible, I was terrible, and it just didn't feel right. By now, I'm sure many of you can put the pieces together and figure out that I am Batman in the flesh. If only telling you that I was gay got the same reaction, then I wouldn't have to be up here. But yes, I am gay. And to many people, that's a big deal. If you told 13-year-old me that I was gay, I would have absolutely denied it because there's no way that I was gay, not a chance. Even if after a few years went by and I still couldn't find myself anywhere near attracted to a man, I wouldn't admit that I was gay. I didn't understand it. I didn't look like the lesbians we see on TV. How could I be gay? I just wanted to be like everybody else, and for the longest time, I thought it was a problem with me. I wasn't capable of love in my eyes because I couldn't love a man like any of my friends did. At this point, I'm going to delve into the world of the internet and how I used it to find myself, and I'll do my best to keep us all on the same page as we move forward. I spent a lot of my free time as a young teenager watching YouTube videos of all sorts, and I was always a huge fan of the YouTuber Tyler Oakley. Not necessarily because he identifies as gay, but I just thought he was hilarious. So I was watching his Draw My Life video, which for those of you that don't know, it's a video in which a person illustrates key points in their life on a physical whiteboard. I thought this was a really cool concept, so I watched a few others. And for anyone that's ever watched 1 or 2 YouTube videos, you know it can often turn into 5 or 10 or a couple hours worth of videos from the suggestion bar. Well, one of these videos had a Q&A in the suggestion bar, and I decided to watch it. It was of these 2 girls, Shannon and Cammie. I found out in the video that they were actually a couple. A lot of LGBTQ-related questions came up, and I started to realize that a lot of what they were saying I could relate to. After this, I was hooked, and I watched almost every video up on their channels, including both of their coming out stories. They both had completely different experiences, but I could relate to them both so much. Shannon lived and went to college in the South and struggled to come out to her sorority, but she used YouTube and Tumblr to bridge the gap and reach out to others for advice. Cammie, like me, felt completely different growing up, but hid behind boyfriends and other friends until she saw South of Nowhere, a TV series with a prominent lesbian couple that thankfully failed to fulfill the lesbian stereotypes we see all over the media today. I didn't know either of these people or any of their followers, but I knew that we had all felt the same way at some point in our journey, and now so many of them are out and happy. And I wanted that to be me. So once I internally accepted who I was, I turned back to the media and the online community for information. Believe me, I didn't need to be gay to understand society's views of the LGBTQ+ community, but I wanted to know what being out was really like and how others handled it. I came out when I was 17. I was nowhere near ready to do it, but I was feeling a lot of pressure from my friends. You know, they all had the inclination that I was gay, and honestly, some of them knew that I was gay before I did, but they didn't all understand why it was so hard for me to come out to my family, or how my family didn't already realize it. When I came out to my mom, I was sitting on the counter in my kitchen, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to say it. But I don't think I've had a harder time getting 5 words out of my mouth. Mom, I think I'm gay. The response that I got was definitely not ideal, and I was left questioning whether I made the right decision. But having those people online that knew what I was going through and had been there themselves really helped me prove to myself that I did make the right choice, and it was like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. I'm 19 now, so I've been out for a little over 2 years, and in those 2 years, I've learned 2 things. I will never actually be completely out, and people will surprise you. Last year, I went to college a couple hours away where no one really knew me. Guys would try to flirt with me, and I had to come out to a lot of the people that I met. It should be simple. People ask all the time, hey, do you have a boyfriend? No. No. How hard is it to say no? I have a girlfriend. It sounds so simple, but not once have I turned that question around. Because to me, it's like jumping off a cliff. You have no control of what happens after you say it. Are they going to be cool with it? Are they going to make this way more awkward than it has to be? Are they going to say something rude? Who knows? I could tell myself and all of you that the next time it happens, I'll turn this question around, but jumping off a cliff isn't as terrifying when you're not standing at the edge. Similar to that, at the beginning of this summer, I met all the people that I'd be working through my internship with. And again, it happens all the time, especially in this world of social media. You meet new people, you become friends, you follow them on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, except my social media is full of pictures of me and my girlfriend. So when do I tell you? Do I tell you before, when we barely know each other? Do I wait and hope you can figure it out on your own and know that I am in fact dating a woman? At what point will I stop worrying if your opinions are going to impact our friendship? I will probably never have the answer to any of these questions, but as I said before, people will surprise you. I knew what to expect based off of what other people had posted online. I knew that before I came out, I could walk around in public and no one would think anything of it. But walking around with my girlfriend leads to stares from every possible angle. I knew that before I came out, I could change in a locker room without somebody thinking I'm staring at them, because it's almost assumed that lesbians are madly in love with every woman that they come across, right? I didn't think so either, but nonetheless, awkward situations arise for us all. But I had heard it all before. The internet is really just a series of connections, and I think it's interesting how these connections can provide something valuable to everyone. Many people think the younger generation is so indulged in their phones and social media, and honestly, some are. But when it's used in the right way, it can bring people together. I wouldn't have been able to be myself if I hadn't found others out there who felt like me. And it's simple enough for anyone to do. We live in this world of Snapchat filters, hashtags, public Snapchat stories, and live video posts on countless social network sites. Anyone can find a group of people that they relate to if they take the time to look. Fan accounts exist for almost anything these days, and at the simple click of a follow button, a whole new community can be at your fingertips. I know it can be a bit different at first, but I encourage everyone to try it. We've even found an easier way of identifying people around you that enjoy going to similar things. There are very few large public events that take place these days without a hashtag or a filter appearing on some type of social media. And you can search these and find anyone around you. Hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag Yes All Women, hashtag ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, hashtag Love Wins. Sound familiar? All of these social movements skyrocketed when these hashtags came to be, and it becomes millions of people coming together to share their stories, spread information, and form one community that will stand for what these relate to. Now that is something everyone should strive to be a part of. When it comes down to it, it's really history in the making. The other issue here really comes down to representation. Earlier, I mentioned South of Nowhere, and that show was for years the only source of femme lesbians in the media. For those of you that don't know, a femme is by definition a lesbian whose appearance and behaviors are traditionally feminine. I got caught up in the trap of thinking lesbians had to look a certain way, had to dress more masculine, had to have short hair, because that's how they were portrayed in the media before me. We've made progress, but still almost every song, TV show, music video is the ordinary middle-class straight couple. And as a kid that grew up exposed to only these straight couples in the media, I know that it paints such a clear picture in a kid's head of what love has to be. And trying to break that leaves you feeling so different or wrong. The media is a huge part of everyone's lives, and it has the power to make a statement about anything. People believe what they see on TV. We look up to these athletes and actors and reporters that we see every day. And I'm pretty sure we can all admit to getting a little bit too attached to our favorite TV character because we can relate or empathize, or at least agree with the reason they were put on the show. The more diversity there is in the media, the more it can be used to educate people and prove to everyone that great people come in all shapes and sizes. Now granted, the media is not the answer to all of our problems, but when it is used in the right way, it can mean the world to people. Everyone should be able to have that safe space where they can be themselves, and don't sell the internet short of being able to provide that space. Everyone should be able to find somebody out there that's like them. In this day and age, no one should be afraid to be who they are, and no one should feel like no one understands what they're going through or how they feel, because there are millions of people out there that are willing to help. So I will conclude with this. To anyone that has a platform, speak your voice loud and clear for anyone that doesn't necessarily have a voice. To the parents and future parents of my generation, teach your kids the importance of equality, whether it be race, gender, religion, or sexual orientation. Work together towards a future where everyone can be happy, free, and treated with equal respect. I don't want a future where being gay is a secret. I want a future where it's not a secret to be me. Thank you.